Sometimes fairy tales come to life in the most unexpected places. This one began not in a castle, but in an animal shelter overflowing with kittens. Here, a brave mama cat would prove that love knows no bounds, even in the face of unimaginable pain. It was supposed to be just another visit to the local animal shelter. Lori, a dedicated volunteer with ARPO Rescue, had come to see how they could help with the overwhelming number of kitties. Just as Lori was preparing to leave with the kitten she had already committed to rescuing, fate walked through the shelter doors. A beautiful calico mama cat arrived with her 7 tiny 3-week-old babies. But this wasn't the joyful arrival it should have been. The mama cat had been brutally attacked by a dog, and her left eye was ruptured and protruded grotesquely from her skull. It was a sight that would haunt even the most experienced rescuer like Lori. Despite the severity of her injuries, the mama cat continued to nurse her 7 babies, showing a mother's love that transcended her own suffering.
And she is just nursing kittens. Oh, Mama. We're gonna name her Snow White and her 7 Dwarfs. Yeah, we're gonna get you help.
Lori knew immediately that she had to help. Some phone calls were made, the vets were consulted, and the ARPO board quickly gave their approval for what would become an expensive and challenging rescue. The surgery took place late that night, and the veterinarian worked skillfully to remove the damaged eye. Additional x-rays revealed that the brave mama also had a fractured upper jawbone. Thankfully, the radiologist was hopeful it would heal on its own, since she still had a normal jaw function. At 2 in the morning, Lori picked up the recovering mama cat and brought her home. She set up the family in her bathroom, where they could begin their healing journey in peace and safety. Despite everything Snow White had endured, her gentle nature shone through immediately. The recovery was going well, and Snow White's 7 babies became the 7 Dwarfs: Dopey, Sleepy, Grumpy, Happy, Doc, Bashful, and Sneezy. The individual photos taken of each kitten revealed just how perfectly their names suited them. Some expressions were surprisingly accurate to their Disney counterparts, creating moments of joy and laughter in what had been such a traumatic beginning. Snow White proved to be the perfect patient during her follow-up appointment. She sat so calmly while being examined. Perhaps she was enjoying a brief respite from her 7 energetic babies who waited in their carrier behind her. The doctor was pleased with how well the surgery site was healing and confirmed that the fractured jaw wouldn't need surgical intervention. A red spot on Snow White's belly, possibly road rash from the attack or dermatitis from nursing, was treated with special cream. As Snow White continued her recovery with pain medication and antibiotics, her 7 babies began showing their individual personalities in the most delightful ways. At Lori's favorite kitten age, around 4 to 5 weeks old, they become mobile, mischievous, and absolutely hilarious to watch. Years ago, Lori noticed that every litter has its troublemaker, and in this family, Happy definitely earned that title. This adorable little stinker had some truly unique quirks. She would wait for her turn at the milk bar by simply laying on top of her mama. She rolled around between her siblings as if Snow White was her personal playground. Happy was also the first brave soul to climb the small scratching post in the room. Though her dismount needed work, she landed directly on poor Sneezy's head. Most amusing of it all, Happy was incredibly vocal. She made all sorts of noises while trying to eat dry food alongside her mom, something most kittens don't attempt at such an early age. Bashful, the smallest of the litter, made up for her size with enormous spirit. Her unique chimera-like face coloring, beautiful split face pattern made her instantly recognizable. Whether it was making a mountain out of supply piles, hanging from the playpen, or pouncing on siblings from great heights, Bashful was game for anything. Her wrestling matches with brother Sneezy often ended with her stuck on her back like a little turtle. A single white toe on her right front paw added an extra touch of cuteness. Then there was Sleepy, who, true to his name, could often be found sleeping away from the group in his own little solo pile on top of blankets. He had a talent for climbing to high places and then getting completely stuck at the top trying to figure out how to climb down. His subtle flame point markings on his ears and tail hinted at how handsome he would become as he grew older. But rescue life isn't always smooth sailing, even in fairy tales. One morning brought concerning developments. Dopey appeared unusually lethargic, and Snow White's face became more swollen despite antibiotic treatment. The little kitten received a B12 injection and subcutaneous fluids to help perk him up. Snow White needed another vet visit to address what appeared to be an infection at her surgery site. The next 24 hours proved challenging as Snow White's incision site opened due to pressure from an abscess. Though it looked alarming, the vet explained that leaving it open to drain was necessary for proper healing. Medicated wipes were prescribed for cleaning the area, and the additional pain medication was provided. Despite losing over a pound in just 2 days, Snow White began eating well again and started regaining her weight. Meanwhile, Dopey's condition had everyone worried when he developed a fever and continued losing weight. Quick intervention with B12 and fluids helped. A thorough veterinary examination thankfully revealed nothing seriously wrong. Little Fighter bounced back, much to everyone's relief. As the days progressed, the kittens continued to grow and develop their personalities. Doc showed off his climbing skills by being the first to make it onto the couch and curl up in Lori's lap when they moved to the larger foster room downstairs. His rapid growth was both exciting and bittersweet. It was a reminder of how quickly these precious babies would grow up. Grumpy became one of the bigger kittens of the litter, with a cute little white tip on his tail. Throughout their journey, the community's response was overwhelming. Donations and supplies poured in to help with Snow White's expensive emergency surgery and ongoing care. The transformation from that first horrific day at the shelter to watching a healthy, playful family was nothing short of miraculous. Snow White's gentle, trusting nature revealed her capacity to forgive and love even after experiencing the worst that life can offer. This modern fairy tale reminds us that real magic happens when compassionate people refuse to look away from suffering. Snow White and her 7 dwarfs didn't need a prince to save them. They had something even better. A network of caring humans who believed every life was worth fighting for. In the world of animal rescue, Every single day brings new opportunities to write happy endings for those who need them most. The fairy tale continues, and thanks to the dedication of foster families like Lori's and the generosity of caring communities, Snow White and her 7 dwarfs are living proof that love really can conquer all.